Your phone is hurting your eyes. TCL thinks they have a solution with their NXTPAPER 60 Ultra, and they flew me all the way to Berlin and IFA to check it out. And at this point, I'm estimating I've seen 1,000 or so phones, so I was pretty sure that I knew what to expect. I did not. In full transparency, TCL did sponsor this video. What they showed me there was genuinely different from anything else on the market. Before I tell you all the different reasons, really 3 in particular, why it was different, let me just give you one reason to thank you for supporting the channel all these years. My favorite things to do and give you a chance to win $500. Made it super easy. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me the first video you would watch on your new phone, whether it's a YouTube or a movie or a TV show. Let me know. Watch the video all the way through. Give this a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I'll let it run for 10 days, open to anyone in the world. Make sure there's a way to contact you though, either with that comment or on your YouTube page. All right, so this phone's got cameras. It's got decent specs. There's some AI stuff that I'll talk about, but zero of that matters until we talk about the screen, because the display is the entire point of this device. It's called NXTPAPER. It's there in the name. And I have long talked about being a screen snob. I think no matter how good a phone is, if the screen sucks, specs don't matter. What we are looking at, is a 7.2 inch matte panel. 7.2 inches on a phone is massive, bigger than the iPhone Pro Max. It's also not skimping on specs, 120 hertz, FHD plus resolution, all kind of the specs you'd expect in a modern phone. I don't think that matters so much. And I have seen NXTPAPER tech before. My kids use a tablet that has it in it. It's a hard thing to describe, so I'm just going to try and show you. So here it is, and inside of the screen, there are 7 different eye care technologies built in. The certifications from CUVE and SGS kind of backing up those claims about reducing eye strain. The blue light here is down to 3.41%. There is 0 flicker, and the anti-glare coating, let me show you. I'm in a studio. Spoiler alert, in a studio. I'm gonna hit the display with every single light on that I can, and I can still read everything perfectly. Let me show you what a normal phone, normal display looks like under the same circumstances. NXTPAPER cuts through all that glare. I did ask TCL about the technical stuff behind it, because obviously we've seen e-ink displays before, but this isn't that. The technical stuff behind it I thought was interesting. So TCL is using something called circular polarized light, and it's going to mimic natural light. Plus there's a nano etched surface that's killing all reflections, and it works. And it feels like you are looking at paper instead of a screen, which I think is the best compliment that I can give it. Now, before you leave in the comments, I was curious what video would look like on a matte display. It's actually really good. Even big TV manufacturers are starting to offer matte displays on flagship models to cut down on glare. It looks like video on a matte display. It looks good. And the matte display I think is good for most instances, but sometimes, you're in an indoor space, a dark environment, then yeah, I'll take a glossy, normal display any day. But if I'm anywhere near sunlight or have lights overhead, this really is the way to go on it. It's a different experience, and I hadn't seen video like this. It's still coming through at 120 hertz, just no glare and fully matted. There's a whole other layer to this whole paper-like experience, and it's because of that button on the side. And that it's a physical, actual toggle. That is what they're calling the NXTPAPER key, and it unlocks new modes. And this is where TCL, I think, takes the paper concept and absolutely runs with it. So if you give it a little slide, you get 3 different modes. So you get max ink mode, which is gonna turn essentially just into an e-reader. Black and white, super easy on the eyes. Insane battery life. And it tells you right on display how long that's gonna last. That is a lot. And while that battery life is awesome, TCL is gonna throw in like 200 free books. So with a screen this size, you could probably throw away your Kindle or at least put it in a drawer for a while. There's another mode called Ink Paper. That's gonna keep it monochrome, but it's going to give you actual full smartphone functionality. I think the most useful mode that would keep it in most of the time is Color Paper mode. That's gonna give you some of that color back while keeping that paper feel and still running at 120 hertz. I thought that was pretty awesome. So you've got this like paper-like display, you've got these reading modes that turn into an e-reader, but TCL is adding kind of more things there. They're, I think, very clearly targeting people who want to read and write more comfortably. Now, stop me, you've heard this before, they've added AI features built around those use cases. And every single phone, every single appliance has AI built in. TCL is trying to take a different approach to AI. Instead of trying to be your personal assistant for absolutely everything, focusing the AI on actually reading and writing. People are probably gonna want to buy this phone. The phone can turn books into audiobooks. It can create podcasts like summaries, generate outlines for long documents. It's got a stylus too, which makes writing even better. It feels like writing on an actual piece of paper due to the nano texture and the matte display. I thought that was pretty cool. The amount of resistance really does feel like paper, and that AI can convert your handwriting to text to help you clean up your writing, or even generate notes from photos that you might take. Perfect for if you are a student or you just take a lot of notes. This is potential to replace a bunch of different devices. I know that I'm talking a lot about reading and productivity. This is obviously still a smartphone though, so I do wanna, I don't know if it's an elephant in the room, but at least the panda in the room, the cameras. So I do want to be straight about this part. You do get a 50 megapixel main camera, 50 megapixel telephoto with 3 times optical zoom, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. It does get the job done. And for a mid-range price phone, especially one with telephoto, it's pretty adequate. Camera mode works as needed. It's got some cool features like light trace and path for fun experimentation built in. There's also, if you want to get into it too, there's like super macro mode for picking up detail. It's definitely like e-reader first, extra camera capabilities as a bonus. They are useful as phone cameras can be. Here's some examples of some normal photos that we took. Here's some shots. This is a camera you will take pictures. They will work. It's not going to replace like a DSLR, but for a phone of this price point, the cameras are very usable. And speaking of what this phone is really about, all those eye care features and productivity tools need solid hardware underneath to actually work well. I think that's where the rest of the specs do come into play. So it's being powered by the MediaTek Dimensity. I think it's a 7400 processor, 12 gigs of RAM, and up to 512 gigs of storage. Processor ain't gonna win any horsepower awards or benchmark awards. It is a capable processor, but not a blazing fast one. For everyday tasks though, it's perfectly smooth. I didn't run into any issues opening things or multitasking. You've got IP68 water resistance here, which is nice to have. A beastly 5200 milliamp hour battery that'll charge at 50% in 30 minutes with 33 watt charging. There's also reverse wireless charging too. So if you wanna top up some earbuds, something, you can do that. Battery life here is excellent even in normal mode, but again, in max paper mode, you're looking at days of usage. You don't have to carry around an external battery pack with this phone. You've literally got emergency battery mode built right in. And the combination of that efficient processor and low power display modes mean you could read all weekend without a charger. And this is a pretty compelling package, but there's a lot of phones out there. So kind of where does this fit into the market? Pricing starts at $499 for 256 or $549 for 512. That kind of puts it above the Pixel 9a and right around where like the OnePlus 13R I think would sit. So the difference is neither of those phones has anything like this display technology. Who should actually buy this? If you read a lot, if you're a student, if you write, or tired of your phone giving you eye strain and headaches, this offers something that you cannot get anywhere else. And after years of reviewing phones with OLED screens that kind of can blind you indoors and disappear outdoors, NXTPAPER tech does feel refreshing. You may have never heard of TCL phones before, but I'm sure you've heard of their TVs. They make really solid TVs. And the NXTPAPER 60 Ultra is their big play to kind of reintroduce themselves to the smartphone market. And this isn't just another phone for them. It's a statement. They can compete with the big players by trying something different. So like my take here, NXTPAPER 60 Ultra does exactly what TCL set out to do. The screen is legitimately easier on your eyes. The stylus and AI tools are actually useful instead of gimmicky. The camera is solid for the price, and battery life is excellent. Downside is performance. It's not flagship level, and you can't buy it everywhere. But if you spend a lot of time reading on your phone, you're always taking notes, you're sick of squinting at your screen in sunlight, this is the most interesting phone you can buy right now if you are in those categories. And again, if you're seeing thousands of phones, it takes something special to surprise me. Want to learn more about it? All links you need will be down below.